Good morning, everyone. It's 6 minutes after the hour of 6 a.m. It's Wednesday, October 9th, 2019, 26 degrees outside. And from our text line, good morning, Tom and Shane. Heads up, Bozeman Pass is in a near whiteout condition, especially on the Park County side. It's like driving by Braille. Be careful out there. So, yeah, we got some snow, but nothing close to what was predicted. It's barely covering the grass at the moment, but it was snowing when I came in, and probably is continuing to snow. So give yourself plenty of time to get to work. Huffine wasn't too bad, but it is a little slippery out there, and Bozeman Pass, as I said, is near whiteout conditions. So be careful coming across the pass. And well, we've got weather, Shane, like it or not. Oh, I guess I better turn you on so you can talk, huh?
Oh, I can talk without it on.
Well, that's true. I know you can. Oh well.
Anyway, it's amazing because you go through the summer months, spring as well, but it's every day's just how hot's it gonna get?
I know,
yeah. Fall and winter are a little bit more involved.
They're a little more fun to give the weather now,
Yeah.
but yeah. Well, we've still got the winter storm warning out there until noon on the tomorrow. Noon tomorrow is when all this is supposed to move away, I guess. But yeah, we've got a winter storm warning today, and then we've got 100% chance of snow overnight, Wednesday, 100%, and Wednesday night, then 70% dropping down to 20%. But anyway, right now, this is Wednesday, right? Snow. Snow could be heavy at times, high near 26. We're right at the high of the day right now, Shane. We're at 26. That's going to be the high. So we got nothing to look forward to.
That's got to make you happy, right?
Yeah. Chance of precipits 100%. They still have new snow accumulation, 3 to 7 inches possible. So we'll see if it continues to snow throughout the day. They feel pretty confident that it will. Wednesday night, snow likely, mainly before midnight, mostly cloudy with a low around 8 degrees. 8, not 18, not 80, 8. Single digit, 8.
It makes you almost comfortable.
That's right. Chance of precip 70%. New snow accumulation less than an inch Wednesday night. Then Thursday, mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming sunny with a high near 28. And calm winds will make the wind chill tolerable at 28, 5 to 10 miles an hour. And let's see, Thursday night clear with a low around 10, so we get a little break on the overnight low, Shane. And west wind around 5 miles an hour. And then on Friday, sunny with a high near 40. And Friday night, mostly clear with a high around 20. So getting back a little bit more normal. For the game on Sunday at the Bobcat Stadium, sunny with a high near 47. And Saturday night, mostly clear with a high around 27. And then for your weekend, mostly sunny with a high near 50 on Sunday. And Sunday night, partly cloudy with a low around 30. So pretty seasonable for us. And then on Columbus Day, mostly sunny with a high near 49. So some of you will get a 3-day weekend this weekend. So looking forward to that. We won't. We'll be here Monday. Celebrating Columbus and Indigenous Persons Day, if you,
That's right.
you want to be politically correct. So
we try to be balanced.
Well, yeah, we're not fair, but we're balanced.
No,
that's
yeah,
not
that's
fair
right.
for a second. Yeah, but we are balanced, though.
No, but we have the righteous eagle man, so that
That's
makes
right.
up for that covers the fair side.
That's right. Temperatures around the area right now, 23 and snow over in Livingston, Manhattan, same story, 24. Three Forks, 23. And Gallup Gateway's 21. Ennis is 20. Big Sky, 19. And at the airport in Belgrade is 24 degrees right now, and we're at our high of the day of 25. So everybody's got snow in their forecast at the moment, or everybody's got snow going on right now. So we're looking for a snowy day in October here on October 9th. So pretty cool. So Let's see. Our poll question yesterday, should Bozeman outlaw vaping products? No was the winner. 50.67% of you said no, the danger is overhyped. Yes, too dangerous. 37% of you went with that one. 4% were undecided, and 1% said, what is vaping anyway?
Mm-hmm.
And some other answers. Leave this to our legislature. And no, if people aren't harming others, let them do what they want. It's a personal choice. No, freedoms are important. And this is supposed to be a free country. So those were some of the other answers that were put in for that poll. Today's poll is Montana's climate change a result of man or nature? And so far, nature, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature, is in the lead, 71%. It doesn't matter. Climate change is a myth, is second with 28%. And no votes for man or no votes for undecided or no other votes at the moment, but we just opened the poll a few minutes ago. So we're up to speed on climate change. So let's take a phone. What?
You gotta give people time for their quick fingers to get going. Right?
I guess that's right. Well, their fingers are going because the phones are ringing. So let's take a phone call. 522 Talk is the number. Caller, you on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Yes, it's Mark again. Your local newspaper carrier.
Yes. How you doing?
Tell everybody to drop their speed by 10 miles an hour. I've got a Highlander 4-wheel drive with SUV tires, and I'm sliding.
Okay, well, we'll do that. It was a little slippery coming in on Huffine this morning. So
what happened is it rained a bit and melted, and so you got ice under the snow.
Under the snow, yep. I found that coming in this morning. So, if you're coming up on those stop signs on Huffine, give yourself plenty of room to slide up to the side, to the light. Yes, it's nasty out there. So, and we just reported earlier, if you weren't listening earlier, the Bozeman Pass is a complete whiteout. So be careful
I just barely turned my radio off just so I could hear you guys.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Well, be careful out there now. We need all the listeners we can get. We don't want you upside down in the ditch somewhere.
I'm originally from Idaho Falls, so we're used to black ice.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, there.
Well, good. Well, plus you're out there every morning doing the paper thing, so that's a good deal too. So thanks for doing that for everybody on your route.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Hey, thanks for the call. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Take care.
Okay.
All right. Have a good day. All right. Yeah, that's there's a lot of people out working this morning. The snow plow guys with the plows on the front of the pickup trucks are out there working and clearing the driveways of the various businesses and things like that. So, the snowfall a little early for us. Usually we get it in November before we get too much snow, but this is kind of a freak storm here popping up on us. So, and it's kind of interesting because we mentioned vaping yesterday in our poll. We got climate change today, and both of those stories are going to be in our local news when we get to that later on in the program. But the Bozeman Pass near whiteout conditions over there, so especially on the Park County side. So be careful coming across the pass if you're on your way to work. Give yourself some extra time to get through that. So it doesn't look like it's going to slow down any for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, you're going to need a pair of those snow goggles.
Yes, you are. Yeah, the ones they advertise on TV where you can see through anything. Yeah,
that's what see through the snow.
That's what we need. Yeah. You won't even notice the snow with those glasses on. That's what they say.
Yeah, that's right.
Only $19.95, and if you order now, what happens? You get 2 pair.
That's right, and they reflect everything.
Right, and just pay $10 or $50 additional shipping. That's all.
Right. That's right. It's a reasonable price.
Easy to do.
Yeah.
Well, gosh, Shane, on this date in 1635, religious dissident Roger Williams was banished from the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Wasn't he some kind of a singer or something?
It's the amazing thing about these guys, especially back in that time, in the 17th and 18th, everyone so stayed because of religion.
Yeah, because this was 15 years after the landing at Plymouth Rock, I guess. 1620, yeah.
So he was a Puritan minister and a theologian.
Yeah.
And founded what was known as at the time the province plantations. And so he named it the colony of Rhode Island. Why, I don't know. Anyway, the Puritan leader set up the Massachusetts Bay Colony, and he wasn't the minister, but he started coming up with some new and dangerous ideas, which doesn't make sense because that's why they left England, so they would have freedom of religion. Mm-hmm. Anyway, in 1635, at 33 or for 34, he was expelled because of his liberty of conscience. And so what did he do? In 1638, he started the first Baptist church in America. So there you go. The first WASP, White Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Yeah.
And the first Baptist Church of Providence, Rhode Island, is the original of that evangelical beginning in America. Imagine. He also attempted to initiate the prohibition of slavery. He was the first. So.
Wow, way back before... 200 years ahead of his time.
And the first to write a book on indigenous languages. So he's a busy guy.
He was a scholar of the time, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's funny. I was just thinking about that. His name's Roger Williams, and I was thinking, all these people who come from England, Klein or George Washington, really? Thomas Jefferson, really? John Adams, really? Where's all the Clives and the whatever those dumb names are that they have everybody over in England right now?
Well, I don't think they're popular names now. They may have been back then, but not now.
Yeah, but you don't think of Roger Williams being a British name,
No.
It's not like Roger Windsor.
That's what I mean, Roger Windsor, like Washington Windsor.
I was going to say, should it be Rosauer Windsor or something like that? I don't know.
Just Roseanne.
Yeah, Roseanne Windsor. Yeah, that would work. That would work. Yeah, all right. Well, in 1701, the Collegiate School of Connecticut, I'll get it in a minute, later became Yale University and was chartered in New Haven. And I think our own Mike McCormick is a Yale guy, I believe.
Oh, is he really?
That's
right, he is.
I think he's a Yale guy. Yeah. So.
1701 by clergy, of congregation of ministers of the great state, and interesting thing that last year they passed Harvard with a larger endowment fund, $29.4 billion. Love to mention that.
They've got a lot of dough, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. Yale propagates itself as one of the schools in the school in the United States with the most American presidents, Supreme Court justices, and Secretary of State. So there you go.
Yeah, that's because they all were born in that part of the world.
That's right. Into that class. Into that privileged class, right?
Yeah. Bozeman was Washington, D.C. All the presidents would be born in Bozeman. So.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. We got to take care of our farmers, ranchers, cab drivers, and truck drivers, anybody that brings you food, booze, or clothing, and we'll be right back after news in agriculture. 26 minutes after the hour of 6 a.m. It's Wednesday, October 9th, actually, 2019. Got my 20 and my 9 confused there, Shane. I don't know what's going on there. It's hump day, I guess. So
that's right.
26 degrees outside. That's our high of the day. So that's as good as it's going to get, folks. So
yeah, well, the only upside to winter there is how dry it is.
That's true.
Being in a humid climate like up in up east, in the northeast. Mm-hmm. I mean, the humidity is really bad now.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, well, we went through that in the Midwest too. We have a lot of ice storms.
Yeah,
with the trees covered with ice, with rain and everything. So it doesn't turn to snow because of the humidity.
Yeah, right.
And I was noticing that in Texas. I told you when we were in Texas a few weeks ago, or a couple of weeks ago, I guess. I'm driving, 100 miles from Dallas to Kilgore, and the guy at the shuttle taking me to the rental car place is telling me
Right.
they haven't had a single day in September where it's been less than 95 degrees, and it was 100 in the rental car when I was driving, over there part of the time.
Wow, no AC.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I had an AC. Yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, I'm thinking to myself, up here, I'm looking at the foothills, and if we don't get rain in July or August or whatever, the foothills are brown.
Oh
But,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
everything in the middle of the median, everything on both sides of the road is green as can be.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking, how can it be green if it's 95 degrees every day? I mean, where's the water coming from? And it must be the humidity, I guess, because the trees look fine. They're
That's
all
right.
green and lush, and there's no brown spots in the median or along the freeways or anything. And I know they don't they don't go out there and water them. So,
No, 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 and
so
it's like the annual dry off in California, right?
right,
Which
yeah,
they was on the news. Well, that's not all the grass is dried off, so they have to now 800,000 Californians are without power because they don't want a spark to start a fire.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah,
They're
now,
a
and,
little,
and
they're really weird over there. You know that.
that's right. Climate change is real because they catch fire every year.
It must be. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Right.
speaking of weather, we got a report on our text line that
Oh,
the
good.
the Bozeman Pass is very tough up there. So it's a whiteout, I guess, with the blowing wind and the blowing snow and everything. So be careful coming across the pass. And if you're going to work in Bozeman, you may want to leave a little early to get to work on time. So there may be some backup and some slow traffic going over that pass. Also, we had rain before the snow, so there's some black ice out there. So be careful. Don't get overconfident with your four-wheel drive and everything that you can go, the same speed you do on dry streets. So don't be doing that. So
Yeah.
be careful out there. We need all the listeners we can get. We don't want anybody in any fender benders today. So
No, no,
let's
no,
be
no.
careful. All right. We've got to do the news. Brooke Foster Weather, Fox News, Montana State News, Bobcats, and other stuff. We'll be right back. 24 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Wednesday, October 9th, 2019, 26 degrees outside. And be careful coming across the Bozeman Pass. Near whiteout conditions exist on the Park County side, so be very careful coming across if you're coming to work in Bozeman from Livingston. Give yourself a little extra time to get here. And also, don't forget it rained before it started snowing, so we got some black ice out there, so don't be overconfident with your four-wheel drive and everything. Slow down a little bit. You'll get to where you're going, so just, drive responsibly. And if there's any road conditions out there we need to know about, either text us at 406 478 8298 or give us a call at 522 talk. But don't text us while you're driving at 50 miles an hour on snow and ice. So pull over and let us know. Or if you're sitting in a parking lot on I-90, by all means, let us know what's going on over there as well, or the frontage road, or Huffine, or I-90 coming into Bozeman. Anywhere where there's a problem, let us know so we can put it out to listeners so they can avoid those areas. Also, I need to remind you, we're going to be giving away Cats tickets tomorrow to Homecoming. We're going to give away 2 tickets by phone, and we're going to give away 2 tickets on our app chat line, which is our smartphone line, AM 1450 KMMS. Get the app if you don't have it at AM 1450 KMMS. Just do a search for it, and it'll pop up. Download it to your phone. And the app chat is right next to the listen button. All you have to do is text the word homecoming to us, and you'll be in the drawing for 2 tickets to the homecoming game against Sacramento State And as Dave Wooten just told you, the Bobcats are they've won 5 in a row. They're 2-0 in the conference. We'd like to be 3-0 in the conference by sending Sacramento State back to Sacramento with a loss. They're from California, for God's sake. They can't be good. Come on.
In the snow.
Yeah. Well, there's not going to be snow. The field will be cleared of snow, but there'll be snow around. And they're not going to be used to this cold weather here because it's going to be. I don't know. And the altitude too. Yeah, you combine the cold with the altitude, and it's a tough place to win here. So we're almost a mile above sea level, so that will take its toll on their breathing after a while, I think. So
that cold air.
That cold air will not be good for them. That's for sure. So we want to make sure that. But anyway, tomorrow, probably between 7 and 8, we'll be giving away 2 tickets by phone, and then the app chat voting will close at 9 o'clock right after the show, and we will notify the winner of the app chat tickets, and you'll all be sitting together so you can talk about how great Tom and Shane are to get you these tickets. What wonderful human beings we are that you were the winners.
Man, you get all the credit, buddy. This is your romp. You're the one who gets it done.
Yeah, well, anyway.
All right.
Well, we like to do something nice for our listeners once in a while.
Of course.
And, XL Country is giving away like billions of dollars every week, but we have no budget over here unless we,
So they have to pay for their listeners to.
They gotta bribe their listeners over there. We just do it with talent, but over there they're just I don't know. They brainwash the public, and
that's right. News and facts, my friend. News and facts.
That's right. Well, we want you to go to BozemanMagazine.com because we're up for best radio show, and we're up for personalities and a couple other things over there under media. So get over to BozemanMagazine.com. Vote for us in the media category. We're in 4 or 5, I think, different categories over there. I'm up for most luscious voice. By all means, you definitely want to vote for me there. So, if I win that'd be pretty interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be sort of strange.
I don't know. I have a voice for newsprint, I think.
Yeah, well, you'll try not to tie your tongue in a knot. Okay?
Yeah, that's true. I do that every morning, but anyway, go to BozemanMagazine.com. You need to sign up with them. And the reason you sign up is they want to keep it honest. One, keep the entries, where you don't vote 19 times and all of that. But if you're concerned about spam or something like that, just set up a free Gmail account or a Yahoo.com account or a Hotmail.com account. And never go to it again. All the spam, if you're worried about spam, it can all go over there. But I can assure you, I was a columnist for Bozeman Magazine for a number of years, and they don't do that. So they're not gonna spam you. They're not gonna beat you up. And if you do, you can. If they do, you can opt out. But I'm pretty sure that they're just real good people over there. They like Bozeman. They do this every year, and we hope that you'll. Maybe put the spam worry aside and sign up and vote for Shane and myself over there in our various categories. So, all right, we got to take another quick break, and we'll be right back with more right after this. 16 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Wednesday, October 9, 2019, 26 degrees outside. That's our high for the day, Shane. 26 degrees is our high. So,
lucky you.
Yeah, I know.
Quit bragging about it.
We're there. We're there already, man. What can I tell you, huh?
All right.
Well, I'm excited, but happy to be here on Hump Day,
Yeah, you're excited about the weather? Seriously?
I'm excited about the weather, man.
You can't be that old.
Well, I don't know. Hey, when I was a kid, rainbows were in black and white, so that's how old I am.
Oh, well, that's bad weather.
Yeah. Hey, if you missed any of our shows, guess what? They are all online. All of our shows are online. We're 5 downloads away, Shane, from 1,700 downloads. 5 downloads away from 1,700 downloads. Wow.
That's amazing.
That is something. Just go to KMMSAM.com and click on Tom and Shane's podcast. Take you over to a link. It'll get you over there. And you can listen to us anytime you like. 240 plus shows are over there. So you can go through the descriptions and pick out the ones you might sound interesting to you, or have topics maybe that you want to know what we thought back in July. Or
Some, they're all interesting.
Well, I guess that's true. Okay. You're right. Every single one is worth your time. So
yeah, it's better than throwing darts. You just pick one.
That's right. Well, getting back to this day in history in 1930, Laura Ingalls, not the one from Little House on the Prairie and not the one from TV, she became the first woman to fly across the United States as she completed a nine-stop journey from Roosevelt Field in New York to Glendale, California.
Yeah, she was pretty busy gal. You know, there was back then the group of pilots that did these flying things.
Yeah.
You know, to set records. They had what was called the Harmony Trophy. She won that. Oh, she was also convicted for failing to register as a paid German agent in 1941.
Whoa.
Because well, yeah, because you know, you didn't go to war to them until 1931, and
that's right. Yeah.
So yeah, so she was quite the Nazi. But I mean, it's pretty interesting when you look at the aviation records. Longest solo flight by a woman, 17,000 miles. First solo flight by a woman from North to South America. First solo flight around South America by a woman. First completed flight by, and on and on. And then all the timeline of, I mean, like all the way through the 30s, started in like 1893. She was born. So, she was flying by 1928. And she flew biplanes, single wing. You know, she was a regular rabbit in the air. Boy, I'll tell you, this woman was busy.
Wow.
Busy. Yeah, and she was a acknowledged German agent, and she flew around Washington, D.C., became famous for dropping anti-intervention pamphlets.
Really?
Over Washington.
Over Washington, D.C., huh?
Yeah, about,
obviously no fly zone back then.
That's right. Do not get involved in the war. That's right. There you go.
I was going to say, they're shooting at her with muskets from the top of the White House, I guess, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Well... Boy, I don't know. Yeah, she was back in the Amelia Earhart days, and
that's right.
Whatever. Yeah, I think they were somewhat competitors at the time, I believe. So, yeah, she was.
Well, yeah, the Foreign Agents
pretty active.
Yeah, the Foreign Agents Registration Act goes back pretty far, 1938.
Yeah, I suppose she didn't die in a plane crash, did she?
No, I don't. No.
Doesn't say so. Oh, yeah, okay.
Say anything about that? No.
Well, in 1936, first generator at Boulder, later Hoover Dam, became transmitting electricity to Los Angeles.
Amazing accomplishment.
Yeah,
what
all the way over in Nevada. No less.
That's 726 feet high, 1,200 feet across. Elevation at the crest is 1,232 feet. It's wide, 45 feet wide. Like they have 2-lane highway across the top.
Yeah, it's
U.S. Route 93. Whoa, yeah.
No, it's got to be a little thick to. How do you hold the water back when you're building a dam anyway? Or is the water just kind of flowing through and then you build the dam and then it fills up?
They divert it.
Oh, okay.
They divert it. They build the floodgates first, and then they divert the water through the floodgates.
Too bad they didn't divert it to Los Angeles, because they're having these droughts and stuff all the time. So,
well, it changed the conditions to live in that part of the country because there's so much power for air conditioning. That was
that's true. In Las Vegas, the water and the the water they use and the electricity they use there is pretty
huge. Yeah,
that's pretty big. Yeah, pretty big. Well, in 1946, on this date, the Eugene O'Neill drama "The Iceman Cometh" opened on Broadway. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good book. There haven't been a lot of great successful runs as a stage show because some books transfer over, but some don't. I didn't think it would. No.
Okay, once again, over in the production room, we got Allie, we got Michelle Wolf in there. They're running around, not doing their show. So
What are they doing? Oh,
when you
loading machines, right?
when
Right.
you vote for us, just remember that the best show, best radio show. We're sitting here. We're not in the production room goofing off and
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
phone or doing something else. I don't know. Jeez. Well, in this date, 1958, Pope Pius XII died at the age of 82. Pope Pius XII. Wow.
Yeah, not a real favorite pope of the church because he reigned during World War II
Yeah.
and did very little to push the rights of any religious people, including Catholics, during the Nazi regimes in Italy and Germany. It was very sad. And then, of course,
yeah, he was
even worse in Russia, right?
He must have been the Swiss Pope. He was just neutral on everything.
Less than neutral. He just liked the lifestyle, I think.
Yeah, I guess. Well, on this date, 1967, guerrilla leader Shay. Come on, I had this. Huh?
You just got your tongue tied.
Come on, I had this guy's name.
Che Guevara.
Guevara, yeah, I know. I had that down pat earlier.
Guevara.
He was executed in Bolivia while attempting to incite revolution. With a name like that, he should be executed.
Well, and this guy was sick. He was a serial killer.
Oh yeah.
He being a revolutionary was nothing to the fact that he got up every day and touted people around him. Who am I going to kill today? Literally. He would walk around until he shot somebody. He was a serial killer. Guy was sick, really sick. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Must have been.
Yeah, I remember my girls. I remember growing. I know I've said this on the radio before. Remember my girls growing up. In high school, they'd have kids over, sometimes girls and sometimes guys, and they'd have a Che Guevara T-shirt on.
I know. Yeah.
And I tell them, you get out of my house. That guy was a serial killer. I don't want somebody in here with a serial killer. That's like the guy with the Nazi, on his forehead, like wearing geez.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Well, in 1975, on this date, Soviet scientist Andrei Sakharov was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. At least I can say Andrei Sakharov. So, yeah. And in 1985, on this date, the hijackers of the Achille Laurel cruise liner surrendered after the ship arrived in Port Said, Egypt. And we talked about that yesterday, where they threw Klinghoffer off the ship with his wheelchair.
Yeah, it was terrible. And but the one thing about it is, like, I don't know if we could talk about this, but when you talk about 9/11, you never think that someone would use an airplane for a terrorist act. I've always, since this Laurel, I always thought that someone would try to get on one of these big, huge, boats with 5,000 people on them.
Yeah,
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, I would think so. Do they have the metal detectors when you get on the ship?
Yeah,
I guess they must have. So I don't know.
Oh, they have lots of security. There's no question.
Security, I guess. Okay, yeah. Well, speaking of that, something about the president's going to speak in Georgia tonight, I think, or
yeah, he's got a rally, baby,
in Georgia. $500,000 for security when it was $26,000 for Obama. The city's charging for the security.
They charged $500,000 for Obama security.
Yeah, no, they charged $26,000 for Obama. They're charging $500,000 for Trump.
Well, that's because only 12 people showed up for Obama.
Well, I guess that's true. All right, let's take a phone call before we run out of time here. Caller, you on the air? What's going on?
Hey, Obama had at least 24 people there. You guys got to be fair.
Okay, that's right. All right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The pictures we were looking at were taken before the rally got really going.
Yeah, that's right.
There was, it's like the inauguration. They took a few
that's
pictures
right.
before, and nobody showed up yet. So that's
What's Obama up to these days, anyways? I haven't heard much out of that guy.
well. He bought a lake or oceanside home, so I guess he's not worried about the rising sea levels.
Yeah, on Martha's
He's
Vineyard.
probably
He's
just
got.
doing a little landscaping, getting his yard.
Yeah,
painted.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
he,
and cleaning his pool out for fall.
yeah. He and Michelle are cleaning out the Victory Garden.
Yeah, that's right.
You bet. Hey, I just wanted to update a quick thing on the roads. There's a semi truck that spun out on the top of Norris Hill.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Norris Hill. Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah, Bozeman to Ennis might be kind of rough shape for the next hour or two.
All right. We'll put that out then. Norris Hill. Yeah.
Norris Hill, yeah.
Okay. And,
Oh.
all right. We'll continue to let people know about that. So hey, we appreciate it. Thanks for letting us know that.
You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, you too. Thanks.
And you too, sir.
All right. All right. Well, that was. Yeah, be careful out there. We got some slick places out there. So we got a tractor trailer on Norris Hill spun out, and we've got near whiteout conditions on the Bozeman Pass on the Park County side. So be careful if you're coming to Bozeman. Give yourself some extra time to get here, and so be careful out there. We had some rain and then snow on top of that, so that makes for black ice conditions out there. So don't be overconfident that it's a light snow and it's not slick. So you may hit some slick spots along the way. So all right.
All right, indeed.
Yeah. Well, let's see. In 1990, David Souter was sworn in as an Associate Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, and he was a guy that they thought might be more middle of the road. Turned out to be a super lefty.
Yeah, that's right. He replaced William J. Brennan Jr., who was a lefty, and of course he was appointed by George Bush.
Yeah.
Herbert Walker Bush.
Bush 41. Yeah.
And he didn't do well picking justices. He didn't have a lot of. Anyway,
well, I think he had to get him through a Democratic Senate too, so that was
true.
an issue that he had to pick the the best evil.
Yeah, well, after Bork, everybody gets Bork now. So
well, that's true. Yeah, that was back in there sometime. So,
right.
And let's see. Also from our text line, Homestake Pass is closed. So Homestake, if you're going that direction, be advised you may need to alter that route if you're going across Homestake Pass somewhere. They've got that closed for the moment, or for the time being, I guess. So be careful out there. It's not a good. So okay. All right. So where were we? Are you frozen? Yeah, you are. You're frozen, aren't you? All right. Let's see. Letters postmarked in Trenton, New Jersey, that later tested positive for anthrax spores were mailed to Senators Tom Daschle and Patrick Leahy. I'll put you on the phone, Shane, since you're frozen.
I am on the phone.
Yeah, no, I know, but you're frozen on Skype.
No, my computer went off. So I'm restarting it. So.
Okay. Well,
it's rethinking. It's waking up. It didn't take its meds this morning.
Okay. Well, this is a good time to do that because we're going to a break. So.
Okay, good.
You got 6 or 7 minutes to get that going. So.
All righty. Good, sir.
All right. We'll be right back with more. And we're going to move on to some local stuff because, we got a man, Bullock is thinking about banning e-cigarettes. We got climate change studies going on in Yellowstone. And we got retailers that are going to challenge that ban on e-cigarettes. We got a second storm in the forecast and all kinds of things going on. And we've got a trailer truck at Norris Hill that's flipped out. We've got whiteout conditions at Bozeman Pass, and Homestake Pass is closed. So we'll be right back with more right after this. Welcome back, everyone. 6 minutes after the hour of 7 a.m. It is Wednesday, October 9th, 2019, 25 degrees outside. And let's take some phone calls. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller, you are on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Snowed outside.
It is snowing, that's for sure. Is that it?
Well, I tell you, this Clint, I got to give you a report of what happened at the Masonic Hall last night on taxes.
Oh yeah, okay.
You ready for this?
I'm ready for this. Go for it.
I don't know. You guys better be sitting down.
Okay, we are actually, but go ahead.
Basically, what it was all about, the damn jail.
Yeah. The jail or Law and Justice?
Well, the Law and Justice Center.
Okay.
Yeah, I got jail stuck in my mind because
I know.
We spent $1 billion on the jail. Now we want to spend another $1 billion on this. But basically, Steve Johnson there he's a very intelligent man and a nice person.
Yeah.
I asked this one thing. I said, Steve, I says, what happened to the lottery money?
Yeah.
Oh, it went in the general fund. It's supposed to have went into the school.
That's what we voted for.
That's right.
If I believe way back when.
That's right, Tom. Yeah. So, yeah. And so then the next thing I said, they were talking about the option sales tax.
Yeah.
So I explained to them that option sales tax was put in by the legislature for towns of 1,500 or less people to collect, I think it was 3%. And that money was to be used only for infrastructure.
Right.
That's what the bill said. Now, one legislator was there. He tried to introduce one of the option sales tax to the legislature, and he got shot down in the first couple of meetings. And the reason being is because the people of the city of Bozeman would be paying, and the county people would be paying also. So that's what shot that down. But I brought up
Kerry White, as I remember, right?
Yeah. I brought up your idea, Tom. That is, let's have a sales tax in the state of Montana. Let's have a constitutional amendment to allow us to get rid of the property tax so that you and I and everybody in this room actually own our home.
Yep.
And I says the sales tax of 8 or 9%, whatever it would take, would be to run government.
Yep.
Okay.
You wouldn't need a property tax any longer.
That's right.
So.
And then
I think that would attract business and industry to Montana like no state has ever seen before.
That's absolutely right, Tom.
If you actually could come here and no sheriff could show up and say, "Hey, we're taking your property."
The only way that property could be taken under courts or whatever, if you got in trouble or something.
If you're doing something illegal with the property, that would be the only option. So.
But the way I see it now, this little girl from the county, she's a secretary. She's got a master's degree in business, and she was speaking for the jail.
Yeah.
And there was another girl there that was sitting there that corrected her about the cost. And the cost is going to be way over $60 million.
Right.
So like I said, I have land in 3 counties here in Montana, and we're sick and tired of paying all these taxes. I'm paying right at $500 a month, and my son-in-law is paying $500 a month, and just damn taxes, Tom.
Right.
Now, how long can we continue to do this?
Well,
we're tapped out.
Well, that's what everybody says, and we just got property assessments that were off the charts.
Yeah, they talked about that
and those bills are going to be coming this month, I believe.
Yeah, they will. Then we vote next month.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I don't know what we're going to do, but a lot of people, I got to know. When I got done, they clapped. I couldn't believe it. An old guy like me. I told them I was running on 90 years old.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And so, I said I've been here probably I says, I'm probably the oldest guy in the room, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was. And it was full of realtors.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about all of this, why they're doing this.
Well, they have a vested interest in it from the real estate perspective because of the property taxes and everything like that. You know, it's going to make it tougher to sell a house, and our housing prices are already greatly inflated, in my opinion, anyway.
And I brought up one other thing that was really important to me, and I think it was important to all the people of this county. When they bring up like the Law and Justice Center, when they bring that up for a vote in November, I says those kids that come to school here from other states, if they register, they got a right to vote.
They do.
And I says that is absolutely wrong. They leave, and we, the taxpayers, get stuck with the bill. I said they should not be allowed to vote on county or city things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that, and of course, I think that everybody has an opinion. You have, Tom, Shane has, we all have. I'm in all my years of living, I've never seen a place in Bozeman grow so fast. I think you said 10 people a day.
Mm-hmm. That's what they say.
Yeah.
And the population turns over every 7 years, I believe, something like that. That we have people either die or, leave for whatever reason, and over any 10-year period, or 7-year period, I guess, we replace everybody here.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Steve Johnson also said about the taxes for the people that's on fixed incomes, they could go down to the assessor's office and maybe get their taxes lowered, and a guy will come out and look at it, and maybe he will, maybe he'll raise it.
No, that's that's a chance you have to take.
I didn't know you had that on your house, or I didn't know you built that building.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So that their deal's kind of out.
Yeah.
But
usually they take a picture of it. They take a picture of your property. Yeah.
I want you to do something for me while you're on that computer there.
I'll try to do it.
I said something, and I think I'm right, but I might be wrong. I could be wrong. How much it costs for one student a year? The last I knew of was about 13 or 14,000 per student.
I'm pretty sure I looked that up the other day. I think it's 11.
Well, that's what Steve said, and I disagreed with him.
Yeah, I think it's that may be where the information came from.
Yeah. I think it's right at 14. I've talked to a few people, and that's what they told me. So that's all. Well,
probably with the new high school, it probably will be.
Yeah, at least that.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, folks out there that's listening this morning, and I got to go do some work for a friend of mine. But anyway, when the jail issue comes up, let's not vote for it until the safety center for the city is built, and we see how much room is left in there. And they've already built a building, like Pete said there, for records and stuff, okay? There's a gymnasium on there that must be at least 50 by 100. It's that big.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll have the county commissioners on tomorrow. And again, we can ask them this.
Ask them how big that gymnasium is.
I don't know about that. They have said that they've already measured the rooms that they're going to need and the courts they're going to need. We're going to have to add another judge down the road sometime or other.
Yeah.
You know, the state's going to insist on it that we have another one.
That building is huge.
Well, I know it's huge, but I don't know. Well, one thing, Marty Lambert he's housed somewhere else.
Yes, he is. Above
he
him
would
there.
be. Well, he's housed over on College somewhere. Yep. So he would be in there, and maybe his staff. I don't know how many people they need, to be in there, and how. Only the city judges are moving out. The county judges will still be there.
Yeah, there's 3 of them, I think.
Yeah, so they're still going to be, they claim, 2 things. One is that the building is an older building, and they're going to have more judges, and they want to plan something for the future, and that's what we did with the jail. We turned down the jail 3 times before we actually finally decided, and I don't know how many thousands of dollars we spent on surveys and, the other stuff that you do in planning that stuff. But we finally got a jail, and it's
I think, Tom,
worked out pretty well. But
I think probably what we just ought to do is be like communist Russia and just give the government all our land and then let them keep it.
Well, that could be, yeah.
There's no damn way.
If you want to vote Democrat, that's what you're going to get in November.
That's right. There's no damn way here that the poor people of this county that's on fixed incomes is going to be able to afford this damn new law and justice center. There's no way in hell they're going to do it. They'll have to sell their homes and leave. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that may be.
And capital gains will eat them alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've figured all this out, and I tell you, it's not good. And you can't keep doing what they're doing to us taxpayers out here.
Yeah.
You just can't keep doing it and wanting more and more and more. Like I said before, you used to have courts and bars, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
In the early days, they had them in bars. They had them everywhere. Okay,
but do we want to go back to that?
No, we don't.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
We don't need to go underground to take the guys from one place to another. After all, they've committed crimes and everything else. They're still citizens. And you don't have to worry about some of them, grabbing you or something else when there's a couple of deputies ushering them here and there.
Yeah.
There's...
Yeah, not everybody's a hardened criminal.
No,
certainly.
Most of them aren't.
Yeah, that's true. They're DUIs or they're,
Yeah, them hardened ones are shackled from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just want to say to everybody out there, don't vote in November for the Law and Justice Center.
All
don't.
Right.
Let's wait until it's emptied. Let's wait a couple of years till the new safety center is built. Then let's take a look at it. And as far as the smell goes, I've been in there many times talking to people and seeing people in court and watching them. I never smelled anything.
Yeah.
I
haven't heard that it smelled at all, but that's...
God, they better go outside and smell the snow. I think.
Okay.
Anyway,
I got to
see
go.
you guys. Shane, I hope it snows once in Vancouver.
Not very often.
Yeah, you got it made out there, you guys. Yeah, Christ.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll see you guys, and thanks a lot, Tom. I give you a report now. That's what happened.
All right. Hey, thanks, man.
You bet.
Take
Bye.
care. Okay, bye-bye. All right, we got to pay a couple of, we got to hear from Buffalo Restoration, and, we got to hear about some timeshares. So, if you got a timeshare and you want to get out of the timeshare, then here's how to get out of the timeshare. So, here's stuff about timeshare. 22 minutes after the hour. It's Wednesday, October 9th, 2019, 25 degrees outside. Shane Matobin, half man, half amazing. He's cooler than the other side of the pillow, is on the line with me. Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor. And this is the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane, nominated as one of the best radio show in Bozeman. At Bozeman Magazine. You need to go vote for us, though. BozemanMagazine.com. Put your vote in over there. Also, tomorrow, during the 7 o'clock hour, we're going to be giving away 2 Bobcat tickets for the game on Saturday against Sacramento State. And we're also going to give away 2 tickets on our App Chat line. You need to go to our App Chat line, which is right next to the listen button, and text us the word homecoming. Homecoming will put you in the drawing for 2 tickets, and that'll close at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then we will have our high-powered UNIVAC computer pull out the winner, and we'll notify you.
UNIVAC computer?
Yeah, we got a UNIVAC in the basement. We're gonna pull out the winner of the.
Where do you buy the tubes for it? I want to know where you get the tubes.
It's we have a source in China.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Where we get those tubes for the UNIVAC computer down there. Yeah, so yeah, get in the drawing We're going to give away 4 tickets, two on our phone lines tomorrow between 7 and 8, and we're also going to give away 2 on the app chat line. So text us the word homecoming to the app chat line, and we will get that done for you. So that's going to be a good game, I think. We'll get those California kids up here a mile above sea level. They'll be huffing and puffing, and they'll be on oxygen the whole game probably. They'll have oxygen tanks on their back, so while they're playing. So, but another conference game. We're 2-0 in the conference. We won 5 in a row. The last one in overtime. So hey, we're ready to rock and roll here on Saturday. So thanks to the Bobcats, we'll be giving away 4 tickets to that game for you. So. Get in the drawing at our app chat, or stay tuned tomorrow morning, and we'll have a winner by phone. In local news, Montana is going to temporarily ban flavored cigarettes. They're placing a temporary ban on the sale of flavored electronic cigarettes and vaping products in an effort to reduce underage use, while officials investigate the cause of the vaping-related deaths and pulmonary illnesses being reported nationwide. And at least 18 people have died, and more than 1,000 have been sickened due to vaping. We got 2 illnesses confirmed in Montana, Shane, one in Gallatin County and the other in Yellowstone County. And the state medical director said the health department strongly recommends that all Montanans refrain from using any vape products, whether they're using them for nicotine or the active ingredients in marijuana or hemp. For those who've recovered from this illness, we don't know what the long-term consequences will be. And while the cause of the illnesses haven't been confirmed, most of the cases involve marijuana, and Montana's ban is focused on curtailing use by teens. So that's where we are. And as usual, we're ahead of this because yesterday our poll question of the day yesterday, should Montana outlaw vaping products? 50% of you say no, and 37% said yes in our poll. So that's where we stand at the moment. So we'll see how that poll plays out. But they started with the e-cigarettes as a way to quit smoking. You'd go through the motions and you'd have the water vapor smoke and whatever. And then they added nicotine to it to supposedly help you wean off cigarettes. I'm not sure how smoking nicotine helps you wean off, but maybe it does. I don't know. But anyway. And I saw an ad the other night. We used to advertise Juul on here, as you know, Shane, for a long time. They were a national ad for us, and not anymore, though. And I noticed the ambulance chasing attorneys are now, if you were injured by Juul, they're ready to take action for you.
Of course.
So you're going to. The attorneys are going to make a bunch of money, and you're not going to make much, but that's okay, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of these things, typical government regulation. But for the health reason, I think it's great with what the policy is, because we didn't do anything about OxyContin, and now over 400,000 people are dead. Mm-hmm. But this is interesting too, because there's no question they were selling this to kids. I mean, yeah. Come on, seriously. I mean, they're the only ones vaping. That's serious. Yeah. I mean, I'll bet they make up 80% of the market. So, and of course they're against it because they make up 80% of the market.
Well, I would say so, yeah. Well, this is a 120-day ban that the governor announced on Tuesday, which includes flavored nicotine, THC, CBD vaping products. And the ban is set to take effect on October 22nd. So Montana is the 6th state to try to keep the products off shelves, as politicians say they're responding to 2 public health crises tied to vaping, underage use, and a lung illness that has sickened more than 1,000 and killed 18 people. And Matt Kelly, the health officer with the Gallatin County Health Department, said the Gallatin County patient is in their 20s with a history of vaping nicotine, THC, and flavored products. And the person was hospitalized in September and is home recovering now. But Brett Myers, a Freedom Vape sales rep in Bozeman, said he is a heavy smoker at one time and turned to vape was the best way for him to quit tobacco products like cigarettes. And so he is going to maybe challenge the ban, and because it is his business, and we'll see how he does.
Yeah, but I mean that was their big selling point. When they first came out with the vaporizer, it was about the size of an oversized iPad phone, and you'd actually put a sprig of a pinch of tobacco in a little chamber, close it, and it was like $350.
Yeah.
Well, their big selling point was, this will get you off tobacco, but you are smoking tobacco.
All right,
and
gotta go.
You had to talk about it a long time.
We'll talk about it when you come back. We'll be right back right after this. Hang on. 24 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Wednesday, October 9th, 2019, 25 degrees outside, and it's cold, Shane. It don't feel like November, or if it feels like November rather than October, I should say. So I don't know. Well, is it climate change? That's our poll question of the day today. Our poll question of the day is climate change a result of man or nature? Is climate change a result of man or nature? And so far, 54% of you believe it's nature. It's not nice to fool Mother Nature. 37% say it doesn't matter. Climate change is a myth. And we have two other answers. Don't know. Didn't know it was changing. It's been mostly coal for 100 years. Solar activity controls the Earth's temperature. And I think Shane has pointed that out many times. So nobody voted for man. Nobody voted for undecided. So it's most people think it's a natural occurrence of nature that we have cold spells, hot spells, and whatever. So
yeah, well, and the remarkable thing is that we're a water planet, and 30% of the water's planet is in the atmosphere, folks. So think about it. It's an ocean up there.
Yeah, it is. Let's go to the phones. 522-TALK is the number. Call you on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Wow, the big chill.
Hey, the big chill is on, man.
The big chill is on, yeah.
You don't have any snow at your place, do you? I mean, you're...
No, I got snow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he has solar panels, Tom. He doesn't have
that's
snow.
right. Yeah.
Right. I got solar panels, all right.
Yeah.
Solid vinyl thermopane windows allow to do solar panels any day. And the return on your money, it takes 30 years to pay for your solar panel and only 3 to pay for your windows if you got a trusty house. That's not what I called about.
Okay.
Did you? I watched Schiff yesterday give his little speech.
Yeah.
The guy looks like a bobblehead.
He does, doesn't he? He's got big eyes. He's got
big eyes, and he in his talk he'd look left and up, then he'd stop for a second, straight ahead and up, and then to the right and either level or up, and I'm there, and he just kept doing it. And
I have a viral comment for my day. You want Pete? You want to hear my viral comment for the day?
Sure.
Okay, so Hillary's going around telling everyone that Trump's an illegitimate president, right? Because he illegitimately won the election. So the only recognition Americans have for the word illegitimate is in pregnancy. So I guess the next thing she's going to do is announce that he should be aborted instead of impeached.
Well, that could be. I
can just see
ship them out.
Yeah,
but
Shift getting up there. Let's abort the president.
Right. The problem the Dems have is everything that they've tried to do from the beginning of Trump being in office, it's all scripted.
And when they get slapped in the face with reality, they can't deal with it.
Well, but they accuse them of everything they've done. Yeah, but they accuse them of everything they've done.
Right. Well, projectionism. We'll go look up Freud and see what he said about projectionism. It's pretty interesting. But there was one guy on there in the news. I think it was one of the candidates. There's no greater sin. Oh no, it was Al Franken, not Franken. What's the guy there? Michael Moore.
Yeah,
Michael Moore.
No greater sin than messing with our elections. So
right.
But I guess trying to put an end to the electoral college isn't messing with our elections.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this whistleblower tag. You think about it now. What you've learned, it's really scary, because the guys in the CIA sat down and said, "Oh, we got to do something. How are we going to get it out there? Oh, let's use the whistleblower deal." And then they went and researched the whistleblower and the rules. Oh, we got to change this rule because he may not be, like firsthand, and then they go to shift and say, we got this idea and you're head of the intelligence committee. So we're going to go find somebody in the CIA as a whistleblower with secondhand information. I mean, that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think there is a whistleblower. I don't think there's even one. I think somebody wrote that paper up, said it's a whistleblower, can't show his face, can't hear his voice.
Yep.
They
I think whistleblower
dog
too.
In there.
I think whistleblower too is the guy whistleblower one heard everything from.
That's possible.
Yeah.
And one last thing there, Thomas.
Go for it.
Here's what I know about the Law and Justice Center.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
It was built in 1962. It was run as a school for a while, and then it sat vacant. And then the county, instead of building what they wanted, purchased the Law and Justice Center. The time to build the Law and Justice Center was just before they bought that school. And the problem is there is no rebar in it, within the exception of the columns. Mm-hmm. The concrete columns have rebar in them. I don't know of any other rebar. I've never run into it, and I've drilled a million holes in that building.
Yeah, I don't think I think that was one of the things that the commission.
And the other thing is, they took out glue lamps on 2 levels, big ones, to get height for the courtroom ceilings and the lighting and stuff in there. So the building is probably structurally okay, north and south, but not east and west, which is where them glue lamps are. And they took them out, and they were down the road department for years. Those glue lamps, I don't know whatever happened to them. But it's been through the fire. It's, that renovation, and of course the renovation after they bought it, which was huge.
Yeah. They
don't gain a whole hell of a lot of space in there, because that gymnasium is split right down the middle. Half is sheriff, half is city. The city has, I believe, a courtroom, unless they put another one in there. And you've got the 2 justice courts and the one in the other building.
Yeah.
And you got Marty in there in the old Hamilton Stores building right across the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the attorneys are.
Right.
But, yeah, the time to build the Law and Justice Center was, like I said, before they bought that thing. And I don't know if you remember the Hat Lady.
Yeah.
She was again it.
Yeah.
She was again buying that building, and I think she was right, by golly.
Well, if you want to go way back, the first time we had 2 votes. So, do you want it at Oak Street or do you want it somewhere else? And that blew up on them, and then they tried to do it again.
Well, that was a jail.
Well, they were trying to do the jail and the Law and Justice Center together, I think, and then they separated them out because first they were going to move them both somewhere, I think, and but anyway, this will be the 3rd or 4th time they've tried to put this thing through, and I've told them they need to change the name from the Law and Justice Center to the Bozeman Get High Here Center or something. I don't know what. But
how about the Law and Injustice Center?
Well, that may work. That might work too. So I gotta go, Pete. Thanks for the call.
Go for it.
All right.
You bet.
Thanks for the call. All right. Shane, we got a caller waiting on the line. If you'll take care of that, we'll be right back right after these important words in 90 seconds. 13 minutes for the top of the hour. And, well, Shane, according to the news here, the Press Herald, Turkish President Erdogan has announced that a Turkish military operation into Syria has started. Turkey's long been has long threatened an attack on the Kurdish fighters in Syria, whom they consider terrorists allied with the Kurdish insurgency within Turkey. And a Syrian war monitoring group, the British-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, reported Wednesday that people are fleeing the border town of Tal Abyad. So AP journalists on the Turkish side of the border overlooking the city saw Turkish forces crossing into Syria in military vehicles Wednesday, though there was no official statement from either side that the offensive had begun. So sounds like Erdogan is on his way.
Yeah, well, the sad truth, the dirty little secret, is of course there's oil in that part of Syria, and that's what this is all about. It's not about the Kurds, it's not about the ISIS, it's not about the Iranians, and certainly not about Assad, who remarkably has survived all this, like unbelievable. So yeah, they want to head south about 700 miles, and in a case there's a significant oil and gas field there for them, which would be to the best, be to the benefit of Turkey, of course.
Yeah. All right. From our text line, 478-8298, yay for Clint. He stands up for property rights in Bozeman and our country.
Yes, indeed he does.
Yeah. From our text line, how many people are dying every day from tobacco-related illnesses? Vape hysteria over nothing. And as we reported earlier, Homestake Pass is closed, and we've got whiteout conditions coming across the Bozeman Pass earlier, and we also had a trailer truck that spun out on Norris Hill. So if you're going through any of those areas, that is the latest word we have on how much is going on with weather and all of that around the area here. So, but yeah, well, I don't know, Shane. We've talked about this a long time ago. That how long do we have to stay in these countries? And I realize we've got American interests there that need to be protected in the Middle East, but these people have been fighting for thousands of years, and it doesn't look like they're going to stop till one side kills the other completely. And
exactly,
you got ISIS in there as well. So I don't know if we're not there. Does ISIS come back? Kurds fought them to a standstill, but now you got Kurds and Turkey going at it. So I don't know. It's not a good. That place has been a powder keg since the 50s, I guess. When 50, Shah was there,
You're saying like the 50 BC you're talking,
well,
right?
Yeah, probably is 50 BC.
Well, you have two problems. First problem, it's been a mercenary war from the beginning, which is terrible because it doesn't affect anyone at home.
Yeah.
And you spent $7 trillion blowing up sand, which is And number three, the intelligence community convinces all the politicians we got to stay there to fight them over there so they don't come here. But that's their job.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
Their job is to keep them out of here.
That's right. Yeah. You don't wait for the crooks to attack the police station, do you?
Yeah, right. No, exactly.
All right. Let's go to the phones. 522-TALK is the number. Call you on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Good morning, Tom and Shane.
Hey.
I find it very interesting that 100 GIs that were pulled out of that area seem to have kept the Turks from crossing the border.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're asking for help from the United States or any other nation, and you pull away, that doesn't leave a good taste in the mouth of the folks who had fought alongside you. Is that correct?
Sure.
I'm thinking the Kurds are probably thinking to themselves, boy, why should we even, talk to the U.S. or talk to any allied nation. And it's funny that, Shane, that you said that, or Tom, you reported that this AP guy said that they've crossed the border, but there's no offensive taking place. Hang on a second here.
Yeah.
Sounds like an offensive to me.
I was going to say, it sure sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
and it's an oxymoron. And the reason it is Turkey's a member of NATO. So, under that treaty, if they're attacked, we have to come to their aid. So does everybody else in NATO. So, this is like World War I all over again. If Iran decides to do something nasty like attack Turkey, now what do you do?
Well, can I ask a question? How close is Turkey to the Atlantic Ocean, and how far north are they?
Well, yeah, they're pretty far north. They're pretty far from the ocean.
So what the heck are they doing in NATO?
Well, they're nowhere near the Atlantic Ocean, number one.
Yeah. Well,
but they create a border between Eastern Europe and Russia. That was the thinking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're an Islamic state. They're a caliphate looking for type state. They want
Of course they are.
And to me, they shouldn't be in NATO in the first place. Here's one. Those organizations like NATO, the UN. When's the last time you ever heard of SEATO? SATO. Do you remember that?
I just took that out of my mouth when you started saying that. I was going to say, yeah. What about SATO? Southeast Asian, right?
Yeah.
Right. Have they made a peep when North Korea gets aggressive or China gets aggressive on Hong Kong?
No.
Where the heck are those guys?
They're on vacation, I believe.
Yeah. Fiji only has paddle boats. Okay. Fiji, they have those booms. Those big booms with extra paddlers on either side. But that's about it.
They're looking at the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh. Yeah. All right. I'd like one more health-related piece of news. There's this vape thing.
Yeah.
There was a report on the news. It was yesterday on Fox, and I only listen to Fox at the top of the hour of your show. I can't wait to get back to you guys.
Yeah.
In fact, I even turn up.
That's kind of you.
Well, I don't even like to listen to the commercials. But anyway.
Well, go to our podcast. They're commercial free and no news. So go over there.
Oh, I'm all about that then. Well, anyway, there was
call in during the commercials. You can talk to me and not listen to them.
Well, that's true. There you are.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
There was a news report yesterday about a huge spike in STDs in this country. Did you hear that?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Did you hear the reasons they gave for the spike?
Well, the big one's Trump, right? Trump is a big one.
Yeah. Global warming and vaping.
That's right.
They said it was a lack of funding, a lack of medical professionals treating the problem, and a lack of resistance, an increased resistance to antibiotics. And I'm saying to myself, how about the real reason there, people? I mean, any genius could figure out what the real reason is for a spike in STDs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they've never mentioned that. The news is just it's a bunch of hooey, if you ask me. And one last thing, I'm going to make a mention to a call that occurred yesterday, and I want the gentleman who called in, giving us the statistics and the survey on unhappiness.
Oh,
yeah. I want that gentleman to stop worrying. Worry brings on.
Okay.
Well, worry brings unhappiness. Unhappiness and happiness is an emotion. Worry is the problem.
All right. Got to go. Hey, thanks for the call.
Excellent call. Yeah, excellent call.
All right. Shane, we got a caller waiting. If you can help them out, we'll be right back. 2 minutes before the top of the hour, we got a caller waiting. Caller, you are on the air. What's going on?
Hi, this is Keith.
Hey, Keith.
I don't know if I can do it in 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, try your best.
but I got to disagree wholeheartedly with Pete.
Okay.
I was just telling Shane, I was there. I helped lay out the lines to dig the foundation for that Catholic high school.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. Yeah.
I helped build the forms to pour the very first concrete, and I was there when built the bookcases so they could do the library. I was there from the start to finish, and there is rebar in there. And I was telling Shane, I wish Pete had all the scars on the back of his hands that I had from mine from fishing through that rebar trying to do stuff that we needed to do.
All right.
And the
Federal building.
Yeah, thanks, Shane. I'm old, I forget.
Yeah.
That's okay, I do too.
The federal building on Babcock is exactly the same construction as is Gaines Hall at the university, exactly the same construction. I worked on all three of them, and there is rebar in there, and they're all built exactly the same to the best of my knowledge. So when they're talking about that's a dangerous building, well, the people better get out of that federal building before they have to leave the Law and Justice Center.
All right, you did it.
Yeah.
You got it done.
Yep.
Thanks, Keith.
Yeah, well, I'm tired of hearing about that building being unsafe. It was built in '63.
Well, yeah, the claim is it has no rebar, right? It's not reinforced. Yeah.
And that was built to the top of the line. That was supposed to be earthquake proof when we built it, so it was the very, very best that could be built at that time.
Yeah.
So
I gotta go.
Safe.
I gotta go,
Yeah.
Keith. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
thanks.
Hey, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. All right. We've got to get out of here. We got one more hour left of open lines. Anything you guys want to talk about? Anything that's on your line? We got to talk about Mueller lying. We got to talk about the NBA. We got to talk about a lot of things here coming up, Shane. So we'll be right back following this. Thank you, Dan. Welcome back, everyone. 6 minutes after the hour of 8 a.m. It's Wednesday, October 9th, 2019, 24 degrees outside. From our app chat line, please remind everyone to be aware of the Montana Department of Transportation plows. Don't crowd the plow. So be careful out there with the plows. Also from our text line, some truck just plowed into the bridge just east of the Belgrade interchange on 90 East, blocking the right-hand lane. So that should back things up a little bit. So be careful out there if you're going east on or blocking the right lane there. That should be a while before they can get that cleared out. But yeah, a truck just hit the bridge. So be careful out there. It's slippery. We had rain, then we had snow on top of it. So don't be overconfident with your driving. First big snow, so slow down a little bit. You'll get there.
Leave 15 minutes earlier and take your time.
That's it. Absolutely right. Yeah, take your time. So. Let's see. Also from our chat line, 478-8298, I think we're talking about the call from yesterday. Happiness and gratitude are related. Ungrateful people tend to be unhappy.
That's right. Well, as we said, we talk about the simple things in life, and there's either takers or givers. So
that's it.
It's not complicated.
Yeah. Middle East has been a problem since the British rule withdrew and stenciled in borders without regard to tribal territory and set these groups up for conflict. The Kurds are a prime example. They got split between three countries.
Yeah, well, that's has more to do with religion than anything else.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they didn't divide them up by religion; they divided them up by groups of people. So
that's correct.
Yeah. So the hell with the Kurds. Trump helped a Muslim dictator get oil. Helps Putin divide up Syria. I guess that's making America great again. If any of you people who still support him want to know your future, just ask the Kurds. If there's any of them left, a trample turn on anyone. For money, he has 2 towers in Istanbul.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, there you go. What do you say? I mean, what do you say to that?
I don't know. Let's see. What else we got here? Homestake Pass is closed. Homestake Pass is closed, I should say. And also they were talking about earlier about a whiteout in the Park County side of the Bozeman Pass. So be careful out there if you're traveling those areas. And we've also got a truck that hit a bridge on I-90 just east of the Belgrade interchange on 90 East. So if you're going 90 East, the right lane is going to be blocked. So make sure you're over there and let folks in and, whatever. But that's going to be a little holdup for you for a while till they get that thing cleared. Speaking of the weather, from our text line, 478-8298, speaking of the weather, it seems truckers used to be the best drivers on the road. Now they're the worst and the most dangerous. Turkey's president says he's preventing a terrorist corridor across his southern border using terror against the Kurds. What a hypocrite. So, yeah, Turkey and the Kurds not getting along these days.
Well, they never have. They haven't
well, no, they never
years.
have. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, they're.
I mean, they've been fighting a civil war with the Kurds for better than 50 years.
Well, at least, yeah. Well, in Syria, we got a civil war going on there as well, and so now we've got Turkey going into Syria. So
yeah,
it's going to get crowded in there with the Russians and the Kurds and the Turkish and and us, and I don't know. I think Trump needs to put up a couple of hotels there to house everybody,
just to cool it all down.
Yeah, go over there and let's create some jobs and stuff for all those folks over there. So yeah, all right. Well, in other news, the NBA, we got to talk a little bit about that. The NBA, the general manager of the Houston Rockets was taken to task because he tweeted a few, probably less than 10 words positive about Hong Kong trying to declare their freedom and democracy and whatever. And, of course, this goes way into the weeds on money.
Huge.
It's
a huge thing because of the tennis shoe companies and all the benefits that professional players get from endorsements from Nike and all, and all the and so forth. And of course, they're all made in China, where people are employed.
Well, some are, but they're certainly sold in China.
Yeah, and they're sold. There's a huge market for them.
Yeah, there's a market for them.
And the NBA is subsidized by your government. Like, I don't know why, but they've gotten public money to build all their basketball courts, so to speak. Where they play. Yeah. And they've got subsidized by your government for other needs that they claim they have. But it's one of these things that's so fascinating because it's like 98% African American business, right? Like.
Pretty much, yeah.
The only white people are in the back office.
Well, I mean, some of the coaches too, but
that's what I mean. Yeah. Back office or on the sidelines, yeah.
But there are more white players now than there used to be because a lot of them are coming from Europe.
That's true. They're so tall. From Eastern Europe.
From the Eastern Bloc and. That played in the Olympics and things for the various countries, and they're, drafted by the NBA. And by the same token, a lot of players here that can't make it in the NBA can play in Europe and improve themselves and then come back. Several players have been able to do that. But it's as you mentioned with the shoe money and all of that at stake, the NBA has to. They can't take a political position, I guess.
Well, that's pretty sad.
But is that But I mean, is that the NBA is an American-based company, but they're also a global partner of many countries where basketball is played. Same with football or soccer or anything else. But
they're all about protecting the players' unions and. Rights of the players and the minority rights of the players and a fascist government says, oh, we're going to cancel some of your games here because you said something bad about it. It's like that's disgusting. I mean, people in hotels that are saying something about China are getting fired. It's wrong.
The Marriott. There was an employee there that tweeted something about they just clicked on a like
about
another tweet from somebody
about
else
Taiwan. About Taiwan being independent of China.
Yeah, and boom, you're out the door. China monitors that stuff, and they look at this.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, it's like the NSA. That you say the word bomb or terrorist or attack or whatever, and
could you add those words to the 7 list of words we can't say, please?
Yeah, those should be on the words we can't say, because I'm sure I just triggered the NSA to.
Yeah, that's right. On my phone.
There's a guy on the radio. Bozeman is subversive.
There's some
anti-American.
There's some Canadian talking to a guy on a radio show. Oh no.
Yeah. All right, from our text line 478-8298. A little earlier, I saw someone riding a unicycle down Kagi, and I saw a girl on a unicycle riding by the high school the other day. So
in the snow.
Well, I guess they're in the snow today, but they weren't yesterday when I was when I was looking for that. But
that's someone looking for black ice problems.
Yeah, I would say so. But for the NBA to not stand up against a dictatorship that just is miserable to their people, and with putting Muslims in concentration camps, and keeping their culture and their people as pure as possible.
And then they turn around and attack their own country. And they complain about how terrible their own country is. And their civil rights are abused, and there's racism, and the president is a traitor. And then they have to apologize to the fascist Chinese government.
I know, yeah.
Wow.
Seems a little strange, doesn't it? The world we live in. Let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, you're on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Hey, guys, it's Kevin. Hold a minute. I need to pull over. I'm on my unicycle.
Okay, pull over, Shane. Pull over, Kevin.
Okay. I'm putting my blinker on right now.
All right, good deal. Yeah.
Yeah, so, like everything else, they're cowards. They, what was it? Was it North Carolina when they didn't like some law that they didn't pass something about the LGBT community? They protested and they pulled out of there.
Yeah, transgender bathrooms.
Yeah, transgender
but
bathrooms.
They're not going to say boo about China, who
No.
Kills gay people and has is a communist regime basically. And it's the same farce with the Catholic Church and Islam. They'll tear down the Catholic Church because they know no Catholic person is going to come cut their head off, but they don't say anything about the Muslim religion or Islam, about how they treat women or gays. Or anybody else. So it's so typical that they would cower. They cower to China because they're scared of them, scared of the money that they would lose.
Mm-hmm.
And with Islam, they're scared of having their head cut off. But they know no Protestant or Catholic is going to do that to them, so they'll step all over us.
Right. Yep. Well, that's the world we live in, Kevin. Welcome to Earth.
It's like I just woke up and realized it, right?
Yeah. You just.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin, open your phone and just say, "Beam me up, Scotty," and you're safe.
Yeah.
That's
fine.
right.
Well,
that's right. Big Brother's working on that right now.
Yeah,
so.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you guys.
All right. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Bye-bye.
Take care. All right, we got to take a quick break. We'll be right back right after this. 19 minutes after the hour, it's Wednesday, October 9th, 2019, 24 degrees outside, and boy, that's pretty much our high today. I think our high is 26, 27, something like that. We're below our high. It is white out there. I'm looking through Michelle's window. And
hey, Tom.
Yeah?
Quit bragging, will you, please?
About that it's white outside?
Yeah, about the way.
Okay. Let's see. Tom from our text line. Tom, I've been in favor of a sales tax if the property tax would be irrevocably waived. The benefits to individuals and the state's ability to attract businesses would be a win-win, as you well stated. You've got Democrats warming the government, wanting the government to own everything. That's what happens in extreme socialist and communist countries. So the government, well, I'm not sure what that is. how this is better than our current government, or maybe the genius leftists don't believe the party would take it that far. So there you are. So yeah, I've always been in favor. I've always thought we could phase out the property tax over a 10-year period.
Right.
Each year your property tax would be a little less, and as I said, the people who the ones that if your property produces income, then you would pay a tax, and their tax would slowly increase, so that pricing would slowly rise, but you'd have your $2,000 or $3,000 a year of spendable income that would offset some of the higher prices.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, but I also think it would be great to come to Montana, live your dream, buy a house, pay it off, and it's yours. No one can come and take it away from you unless you're doing something illegal in it. But as long as you're obeying the laws and living your life, and you could pass it on to your heirs. Your kids could live in it, and it would make the community stronger, because you would have people here that wouldn't, maybe the kids wouldn't necessarily have a house payment, and boom, your kids could stay here and start their own businesses, work for less while they got job experience, things like that. I think it would be and I think the neighborhoods would be better. The people who would really be hurt would be the realtors, because, you wouldn't switch houses as often. But still, I think owning your own home outright and free from Uncle Sam or Uncle Montana or Uncle anybody, Uncle Galton Valley, would be great.
Well, and it's one of those things that, too, I think that, they say, what are some easy solutions, right? Like, what can you do? So here are a couple of easy ones, because equity is something we always talk about, especially with Mike, which we'll do tomorrow. Mike will be in the house tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow, Mike.
And so, Mike. So, real estate is the best equity to generate. And so if you don't owe any money on your house, and it's mortgage free at some point, then I think once it's mortgage free, you shouldn't have to pay property taxes.
Well, that's what I mean. I would say the same thing. That could be a start. If you paid off your home, then it should be yours free and clear. And
they shouldn't be able to tax something that you own free and clear.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if you lose $1, you have to figure out how to get that dollar someplace else. So, my proposal, over a 10-year period, you lose 2 cents on the dollar, and then the next year you might lose a nickel, and the next year you might lose a quarter, and whatever. But
look, the second largest purchase anyone makes in a lifetime beside a house is a car.
That's true.
And they don't tax it like property tax, because you own it, and
you're paying you're paying in other ways. So you're paying gas tax and
well, I appreciate
those
that,
other things. But yeah, you're right. It's a cover. Yeah, if you buy an RV, it's not a. I guess it's a house. Yeah, I guess it's not a house.
You own an RV, you pay it off. You're not paying the house tax on it. Or you're not paying the house tax every time you park it to use it.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I can see it now. The meter maid comes up and, hey, how long you been parked here? That's $2. Get it up.
We should be quiet. We might be giving someone ideas of what to tax.
That's right. Yeah. Food trucks. Let's go.
Yeah, right.
Let's go to the phones. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, thanks for waiting. You're on the air. What's going on?
Yes, I was calling about the Turks.
Yes.
And they're not all as benevolent as everybody thinks. All you got to do is ask the Armenians.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Genocide, baby, 1918.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they never were held accountable for it.
Oh, no, not at all. And the other thing, too, is if you look back to World War I and the Ottoman Empire picked the other side, right?
Yeah.
They did. If they had to pick the side of the Germans, they could still be around today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, thanks for pointing that out. Good call. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Let's try another call. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Is this me?
That's you.
Well, they do tax your car when you buy it because look at the license fees you pay.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, we were saying that, yeah.
Yeah, you pay that every year, too.
And when you have a new car, they're quite a bit. You know, when you have an old car, they're not so bad. But when you get a new car, and the whole license thing started out as just a way to keep track of who owned what vehicle.
Yeah.
So it was a very minimal charge, like a dog license. But now, you know, it's a revenue base. So they do get you one way or another.
Yeah, they don't show up at your house and say, "Show me your house license and insurance, please," before they come in.
Well, you know what? If you didn't pay your license, they pull you over.
That's
and you
true.
Get ticketed.
That's
See,
true.
They do come get you.
That's true.
If you don't pay.
In Canada, we get 3 passes. They can't tax you for the profit on the sale of your primary house. They can't tax you on any gambling profits that you make or any gambling wins you have. And they can't tax you for the sale of art, any kind of artwork.
Well, I don't
go.
want to have to break down my gun in 47 pieces and keep it separate from
To
my
live in
ammo
Canada, yeah.
Canada
Oh, I
either.
love you.
That's
You're
not the
so
trade-off we want, is it?
Yeah,
That was
let
a
me tell you
perfect
what,
comeback.
That's really
Perfect comeback,
inconvenient. It's very inconvenient when the burglar is coming in through your door.
That's right.
To have to assemble your firearm before you could do that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Stand still. I want to kill you with the trigger.
yeah. Well,
just give me a minute. I got.
yeah. Shane,
Yeah, I guess what you guys have to do is you have to do like they do in the military. They put you in a dark room and give you the parts, and you have to assemble the gun.
There you are.
No, I put a blindfold on and do it, man.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
whatever.
innocent, okay?
Yeah. Well, they break in.
Yeah,
When they break into Shane's house, he tries to sell them art.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. That's because it can't be charged. It can't be taxed.
That's
for
right.
it.
Can't be taxed on it, so
Like everything.
it's a win-win for the burglar.
Yeah, there you go. Have a good day.
All right. Thanks a lot. All right. Let's take one more call before we got to take a break at the bottom of the hour. Caller, you on the air. What's going on?
Well, I love following Roseanne.
Yeah.
Hey, I heard on here earlier that there's a spike in STDs.
Yes.
Right?
That's what they say.
Well, it's going to get much, much, much worse for the promiscuous communities because we are living at the end of the age of antibiotics. They're slowing down on the.
But STDs are viruses. They're not infections.
Well, some like you're telling me gonorrhea is a virus. This new super gonorrhea is that the virus? Come on, James.
That's an infection. It's not a virus.
And that's a bacterial infection.
That's right, which you use antibiotics for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's antibiotic resistant.
Yeah. Well, it could be and can be and probably will be in the future. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And it's going to spread
Well,
like
there isn't a single U.S. pharmaceutical company today making antibiotics. They all come from China.
Yeah. All right. I got to go.
That was the bad news for today.
Okay, good. Thanks much. All right. Let's see. The STDs reached an all-time high in 2018. 2.5 million cases sexually transmitted. They were reported to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So there you are.
Right. But one got to be said, one of the worst STDs growing is herpes. So everyone knows that. Be careful of herpes. Watch those blisters.
24 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Wednesday, October 9th, 2019, 25 degrees outside. Turkey has begun a military operation against Kurdish forces in northeast Syria on Wednesday, just several days after the Trump administration announced the U.S. was pulling troops from the region. Turkish armed forces, together with the Syrian National Army, just launched Operation Peace Spring, Shane. Operation Peace spring.
All right, right in the beginning of the winter,
Right, yeah. This
right.
is against the PKK, YPG, and Daesh terrorists in northern Syria. They're terrorists. Our mission is to prevent the creation of a terror corridor across our southern border and to bring peace to the area, President Erdogan said in a statement. President Trump's decision to withdraw troops from northeast Syria was widely viewed as offering a green light to a Turkish military incursion, and the move was criticized heavily by congressional Republicans.
There you go. Well, the head of the PKK in Turkey was captured 8 years ago. He's in prison, and that sort of resulted in the collapse of the civil war to a large degree. So now they're basically a terrorist organization in Turkey. They are Sunnis, similar to most of the Turkish people, but the factions again are always a predicate to the Muslim religion. And the different sects, because they're all tribal, and they all have these different results, because the way the Quran is set up, it's an oligarchy, and so every tribe is run by a chief, and they don't answer to any other chiefs, just to themselves.
Yeah. Well,
so there you go.
It's that whole region has just been off the charts. I don't know what for the past 20 years, I guess. So.
That's right. Well, 600 since.
Well, yeah, I guess we ought to go back that far.
Yeah, certainly since the 12th century. But
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's just one of those things, and you now know from what's gone on in Afghanistan and Iraq, you can't change it.
No.
You can't spend trillions of dollars and change it. So what the heck, let them take care of themselves. That's what they want to do.
Well, I would say so. Yeah, that's for sure. That's
and when it's time to rebuild these countries, Iraq and Syria, let the Chinese and the Russians pay for it. Go for it. There you go. Yeah,
I'm going for
it. They're not great consumers, by the way.
No, they're not.
No, seriously, they really aren't.
I know. Let's go to the phones. 522 Talk is the number. Caller, you on the air? What's going on?
Hey guys, it's Mayor.
Hey.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. I went to that tax thing last night, the tax educational panel, which was composed of finance coordinator for the Gallatin County, City of Bozeman, the superintendent of the public schools. So you know what the agenda was to protect the school funding and to sell us on the Law and Justice Center. That's what it was about. It was a waste of my time. There was no real solution about lowering taxes. It was, to me, they were educating us on how we should be happy about paying taxes.
Yeah.
And I think what needs to happen is we need, instead of having these panel discussions where only a handful of people got to even speak, a workshop where people can come together and brainstorm about how to lower taxes. Because one of my ideas was when they were kind of pushing the tourist tax, I guess that's what I would call it. Nobody even brought up about having a tax-exempt card for those in the area if you're a resident. So if, say, you implemented a tourist tax in Gallatin County, so every resident, and a proven resident, not a student or, whatever, gets a card that they're tax-exempt from the things that the tourists would pay for, because a tourist tax is a tax on everybody.
Yes.
And nobody wants that's living here.
And we're here more than the tourists are.
Right, yeah. And so when that was brought up, people, their mouths dropped to the floor like, oh, I never thought of that. Well, this stuff is not rocket science.
Well, yeah, and what makes it simpler is just you show your driver's license. That's what we do up here for GST, because you don't pay it on kids' clothing, right? So you show them your driver's license, and they take a clipboard, they write your name down, and the number on which, the number and the dollar amount for kids' clothes.
Sure.
And what do they do that? Probably throw it in the garbage can. But so you go through and you buy your products and get to the counter and are you a Montana resident? Yeah, here's my driver's license. Okay, no tax.
Well, you do it at Walmart. If you buy one of those Sudafed or something like that, you got to buy it.
Right.
You got to buy it there. You got to show your license. How much you're buying and all that stuff. So, I mean, it can be done, Mayor. Sounds to me like.
Well, yeah, it's a simple solution, because they're all complaining why they can't get this tourist tax. Well, it's because the residents don't want to pay a tourist tax.
Well, I don't want to pay 12. I don't want to pay 12 months a year while tourists pay 3.
Yeah, well, not even. Yeah, right. And there's a lot of money to be had from the tourist industry. So, okay, take it, but don't make me pay for it when I'm not a tourist.
Yeah, well, what you should do is charge the tourists about 2% less if they can prove they're a tourist, and we'll attract more tourists because there's a discount on the products that we sell. So, you go to eat a meal, you get a 2% if you're from North Carolina or something,
Well, and the other thing is, I think somebody said that 35% of our property taxes that we pay in Gallatin County go out of the county and go towards other cities and communities. Now, that, to me, is what socialism is all about.
Yeah,
35%.
I don't think it's that much, but we do subsidize other counties.
Yeah, and, I understand them having problems, but that, to me, would be what the lottery might be used for, the coal tax trust, and leave the money where the money is, and maybe we would have a little easier time here in Bozeman if we didn't have to send that much out of the area.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's just things that I think if people sat down and brainstormed, they could come up with some solution. And, they kept saying, oh, well, the taxes are so complicated. Like we're too stupid to understand it. No, they're not complicated. They're expensive. So figure out how to get it done.
All right.
So
all right.
Anyway, it was a waste of time, but it's in a way it's enlightening to see what it really was all about. It was all agenda driven to try to get the Law and Justice Center passed by complaining about, again, the no rebar and it's not earthquake proof. Well, the damn thing's been sitting there since the 60s and hasn't fallen down. So,
well, and as Keith called in earlier and said he worked on the building and it does have rebar in it. So,
so they're lying about that.
And not only that, but look, folks, there's a thing called a drill. You can drill it to see if there's rebar in it. Like it takes you like 5 minutes.
Yeah. All right. I got to go. Hey, thanks for the call.
Thanks.
All right. Yeah. According to the county, 62% of your taxes go to schools, 18% go to the county to run it, 16% go to the cities that Mayor's talking about that, we subsidize some of the other cities that can't afford certain services and things like that. The university gets 1%, the road and the library get 3%. So roads and libraries, I guess I should say. So we got to take a quick break. We'll be right back right after this. 12 minutes before the top of the hour. This is going to be a short segment because we've got to get the Rush update in here. But from our text line, or from our app chat, actually, from our app chat line at AM 1450 KMMS, app chat, right next to the listen button. It's so easy. I missed most of the show in the AM, so I download the podcast listening later. The movie about the guy imprisoned in Turkey for drugs is Midnight Express. We were talking about
That's
that.
It. Yeah,
we were talking about that yesterday. So thanks to the app chat, we have that cleared up. And I could have probably looked it up, I guess, but we appreciate you listening, and we appreciate you passing that on to us. Yeah, Midnight Express. Also, we want to remind people also from our app chat line, beware of the snowplows out there. Give the snowplows plenty of room. If you stay behind them, there'll be less snow in your wheel wells there. So you may want to think about that. Yeah. From our text line, Trump is damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. In the eyes of the Democrats, he pulls our troops out of unnecessary harm's way. safety of our own troops. The primary obligation of a good commander-in-chief is to reasonably project our troops wherever possible when Trump is doing, or which Trump is doing. Trump has also just negotiated a trade deal with the largest foreign beef consuming country, Japan. He's renegotiating NAFTA, stopping China from taking advantage of us, things he wouldn't have to do if his predecessors had done their jobs. This includes Obama, whose policies, for the most part, were anti-business and anti-agriculture. Mm-hmm. There should be a one-time property tax, and then it's yours. Property ownership is a fundamental foundation of our country. Get your money by taxing the poor into oblivion. Mm-hmm. You'll get your revenue and eliminate the poor people. It's a win-win. Right. From Kevin. Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Tom, get on Montana cadastral tax, CADASTRAL tax, mapping, and just start clicking on properties in Big Sky. I don't see it feasible to replace property tax when those properties up there are paying $50,000 to $100,000 a year. I'm all for getting rid of property tax, but how do you think it would be replaced? Well, in the first place, there's not that many. There's not that many of those properties up there, and I agree with you. They pay big bucks, but I think, and I mentioned I wouldn't eliminate property tax just boom. I would do it over a 10-year period, and I think more people would move to Montana who could buy a house here for cash if they sold it in a higher neighborhood somewhere else, and move in here, and we would have more commerce and more people here to buy stuff. So right. I think it could be offset with other if we had a sales tax or some other form of taxation. Right. But at least with a sales tax, a lot of people call that a tax on the poor. Lottery is a tax on the poor.
That's right. And the more consumption your community has, the less cost you pay.
Mm-hmm. That would be right. So, all right, we got to get the Rush update in here and we'll close out the day for a Wednesday, hump day. Mike McCormick will join us tomorrow at 7. So you'll want to be around for that, of course. And tomorrow morning, of course, we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Cat game by phone. And we're also going to give away 2 tickets on our app chat line. So you want to text the word homecoming to the AbChat line on our AM 1450 KMMS phone app. So just text us homecoming and you'll be in the drawing for 2 tickets to the Cat game on Saturday. We'll be right back. Here's Rush. 3 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Wednesday, October 9th, 2019, 24 degrees outside. We're looking for a high of 25, 26 degrees, something like that. It is white outside. It's, we've got snow out there. So
now you need a head shade to get through the.
I need something. Yeah. So from our text line, 478-8298, most of the Yellowstone Club and Moonlight Basin taxes go to Madison County. And that's true. A lot of the Yellowstone Club is in Madison. It splits right there through through Big Sky. But we're talking about we're talking about property taxes across the state of Montana. So, as we said, that would be.
I would think with all the snow you get there, people would use umbrellas.
Why?
To keep the snow off them.
Well, we like the snow on us.
Oh, okay.
We don't like the rain on us.
Come on, Eagle Man. I tried to catch you. Just tried to catch you on a deep thought about property taxes, and I bring up umbrellas.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't know, but anyway. Let's see. Precincts, not a centralized $70 million facility, cheaper and spreads out and provides the quick availability of the police and sheriff's offices that are now closer to the part of the valley that they are assigned to. So wow. I'm not sure what precincts we're talking about.
I don't either. Yeah. They want to break up the county into precincts.
Okay, not
with
a centralized. Okay, I got you.
With separate police stations.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. We're bigger than Rhode Island and Delaware, and they've got 5 counties in those areas. So
that's right.
They got 5 sheriffs, and if all the rich and famous in Big Sky were that smart, they'd be wise to use all resort tax funds and all basic infrastructure and fluff. Their property taxes would drop dramatically overnight, but maybe they like the property taxes high, so no one else can afford to live near them.
Well, yeah, but one of the reasons they bought there and built there, aside from the fact it's beautiful, gorgeous, and wonderful, is they bring their own security with them.
That's true. All right. Let's take a quick call here. We got to go. Caller, you're on the air real quick. What's up?
Hey, guys, it's Mike.
Yeah.
So I got a study I wanted to throw down quick. It's in the Journal of Democracy, and it's from Afoa and Monk, and it says that among people of all ages, that they would rather have a strong leader that does not have to go through parliamentary processes and elections. And in 95, it was 24% of the population. 2011, it was 32% of the population. And in 2016, when they published this, it was up to 49% of people think that we should have a strongman leader without any process. That's pretty scary.
That is scary. Hey, thanks for the call. I got to go.
See ya.
All right, take care.
Take care, Mayor. Yeah, talk to you tomorrow. We'll always talk first thing in the morning. Be happy, safe, everyone. Drive carefully and slow.